on behalf of members of the House of Representatives from Imo State, we had our meetings yesterday, and we also talked on the phone about recent development in Imo State, where a famous journalist, Nonsonkwa, was abducted by hooded security men that turned out to be members of the Nigerian police force and have been taken to Abuja based on a petition, we were told, allegedly from the government of Uzodimma. Let me use this opportunity to call on the new Inspector General of Police. In Imo, maybe you are not aware, we have had a state-led tyranny that clamps down on people with divergent view. We have a state government that have used unorthodox security method in trying to quell security problem and ended up inflaming the situation. We had a state government that top officials of the government have been involved in acts that threaten the peace and security of lives of citizens. In particular, of my own experience, where a top officer of the government threatened to kill me, and at the end of the day, the assassins were sent, and they ended up killing my uncle and some family members and burning down my house. And the vehicle with which they carried the explosive came all the way from over, passing all the military checkpoint, with intel that they were escorted by officers of the government. So when people talk about this security situation in Imo, it's not that we are playing politics with it. It is Governor Uzodimma that is playing politics with it. Because I can remember last time, when he was quarreling with Rochas Okorocha, he said Rochas Okorocha is the one behind unknown gunmen. When they reconciled, he turned back again. Later on, they said it was Uche Nwosu. When they reconciled, we didn't hear about it again. When he started having problem with Chief Emeki Ihedioha, he said Ihedioha is the one behind the insecurity. Later, he dumped that one. Then he later said it's Gerard Irona. At a point, he said I'm the one behind insecurity in the state. So it looks like the governor is using issues of security to be playing petty politics. And because of that, there's nothing that concerns security situation in Imo State that the governor should be taken serious by any reasonable person. Because this is somebody that, after the assassination attempt and killing of some of our family members, was on TV saying that he was aware of the planned attack, and then dishing out fake security information that he had documents of where I was meeting with those who came to kill me. So when you look at all such kind of comments, you ask yourself, are these people that are in position of authority? It doesn't matter how you come into office, whether you come from the Supreme Court or somewhere. The point remains that there must be some level of reasonable conversation that people should be allowed to have when they're in power. So the essence of this conversation is that I'm using this opportunity to call on the DSS and the police and Mr. President to please intervene on the arrest of Nonsonkwa and ensure that he's released. If you say he has committed an offense, the right thing to do is to charge him to court. You do not have, and I repeat, you do not have any reason to hold Nonsonkwa more than the stipulated constitutional provision. These are the things that are causing problems all over West Africa, why people are getting involved in queue and so on and so forth. Because leaders tend to abuse democratic process, tend to abuse human rights, tend to abuse the courts and the provisions of the constitution that has to do with human rights. If you say he has committed an offense, the right thing to do is not to flex muscle, to kidnap him, take him somewhere and detain him. If you feel you have established a case, you go to court and file your case and then follow the legal process. That's what they normally tell us even after elections. So you go to court and take the legal process if you feel Nonsonkwa has done something that is wrong. But not to go and arrest him, because anybody that shares any view that is different from Uzodimma in Imo, then they write petition to DSS. Either they will write a petition saying you are involved in murder, and then they write a petition you are involved in act breaching state security, and then the security agencies will come and carry the place. We should not be desecrating security reports. Security reports are things that are supposed to be sensitive and not something that you play like you are in first act town or something. It's not something for joke. So you don't just, when you have political differences with people or when people don't agree with you, you now go and fabricate security report and then call him, he's the sponsor of terrorism. Okay, now that you have detained him, have terrorism and crisis ended? So all these jokes has to stop. So that's why I'm appealing, and most of my colleagues from the Imo Caucus is also appealing on the heads of security agencies to be very careful when they're handling things from Imo State. Because you have a governor who has weaponized the issue of insecurity and using it to score cheap political points. And that is why I'm calling for the immediate and unconditional release of Nonsonkwa. And if those who abducted him feels he has committed an offense that is against the law, the right place to go is the court, whereby you're supposed to file your charges. But not to. This idea of extrajudicial killing in Imo, abduction of people, burning of houses, and all sorts of rascality that is even worse than what is happening in Niger Republic has to stop. It has to stop. And the security agency, and let me say it again, when you are dealing with it in issues of insecurity in Imo State, be very careful, because you have a government that have politicized these whole issues and uses it to chase, political opponents or attempt to score cheap political points. And people are being killed every day in Imo State. People live in fear. It's like a battleground. It's like what historians will say, a state where life is short and brutish. And we must put an end to this, because everybody in Imo is bleeding. Nobody can freely even drink water and drop cup in Imo State. For me, I have suffered it, escaped it. The distance between me and the bullet was like 1 meters. I survived it, and that's why I promised myself that I will continue to advocate for those who doesn't have somebody that will speak for them. They came to our place, then bombed our house, they brought everything, they beheaded my uncle in my front, killed other innocent people. The vehicle that brought them came from Owerri. The man that threatened that he would do those kind of things is working with the governor, but the security agencies did not do anything. And then you continue to adopt people who are airing their views about the worrisome situation in Imo State. Do you people want to keep quiet until everybody in Imo is annihilated? And when you may make a comment, some street urchins will be all over Imo State protesting and say, oh, arrest him, he's behind insecurity. Every political opponent of the governor is behind insecurity. And once you reconcile and you are bed with him, there is no insecurity again. So this thing has become a joke. It has become a weapon for achieving cheap political gains. The next one, like I had now, they will write security report to me against police, to the DSS, trying to abuse the sanctity of our intelligence organization with those concocted things they are writing. And that's why I feel it's time, first of all, to reshuffle all the heads of security agencies in Imo State. This thing is turning into a joke. And every day people are being killed. Even non-state actors that are working on behalf of the government goes about killing whoever I want, arresting anybody. Look at the kind of destruction in Imo State. And then when you talk, they start chasing left and right. Everybody cannot bow in this state of uncertainty. There must be some people who must speak up, and that is what I'm doing for the people of Imo State who is under hostage. Everywhere you go, people can be killed anytime, people can be abducted anytime, people can be framed by security agencies in Imo State. And they send these things to Abuja, and people are still listening to those useless documents coming from Imo State. People just think that the way they behaved in their former life, they will bring it into government. I think you can threaten everybody. Next minute again, you say, because I don't agree with you, Ikenga is involved in murder. You write security report, petition to DSS and army. You want me to run away for you? And now innocent people have been, go to their detention facility, go to the tiger place that dropping people. Even some of those people working with the government will abduct you and drop you there. This is turning into a joke. Everybody has fled from Imo. But for how long are we going to do that? Because somebody wants to remain as governor? Of what importance is that to the lives and properties of innocent people in Imo State? The other day, because I told them, based on the experience I had, because I talk from personal experience, 4 assassination attempts, state government backed. And then the next thing you will do is to write petition to DSS, write to police, so you can adopt Ikenga, and you're boasting how you will execute me. So I'm calling on the president to please pay special attention to Imo, and people should be very careful in dealing with anybody from Imo State, because they are using this issue of insecurity on this issue of terrorism and all that to be playing local politics. Now, Nsonko is behind this. How can he be behind insecurity? A journalist? Because he has views that the government does not like. The other time, Jeff Ojinike, member of the House of Rep, before, is behind insecurity. Now he's no longer the one behind it. Gerald Irona was behind it before. He's no longer behind it. There was a time he said it was Ihe Dioha. There was a time he said it was Richards. There was a time he said it was Ararume. There was a time he said it was Ikenga. Can people see that this is first act 419? It's a joke. And that's why people should not be listening. And those security agencies in Imo who is aiding this nonsense, I want their superiors to remove them and reshuffle them. Because this is not how to do security work. They are debasing these security institutions. For every atrocity that have been committed by those working with the state government, none of them have been arrested. The ones who opened fire on us, they have not been arrested. They are still in government house. And they are still boasting, both the CSO. When you look at all these little boys boasting how they will, deal with people, because there's no leadership that is calling them to order. And you not think all of us are going to keep quiet because they have said they will kill all of us? 4 assassination attempts, state government back. Nothing has happened to all those people who were involved. Rather, they are still threatening fire that on what they will do. So I'm calling on the IG. He is coming new. He should first of all take a report from Imo by deploying all those who were involved in those state-backed atrocities in Imo. And that is the same thing I'm calling on the new chief of army staff, who will have great respect for, to look into what the people in Owerri is doing. The same way I'm still calling on DSS, like I've called to them before, to look at what the DSS man is doing in Owerri. This is how the same DSS in Owerri, a whole secret service, formulated a fake report that I was bombing INEC offices just to achieve the desire of Uzodimma. And nobody talked about anything about it. Arrested innocent INEC staffs and put them in detention. That they should implicate me before they can be released. That they are the ones who release the compromise of the voter register. Now somebody forges the national voter register. He is not in detention. Rather, those who helped in making that criminal act public are the ones that were arrested and being charged for terrorism. And then they say they have a criminal law in the state they will use to charge you and keep you in detention forever. And the reason we will now surrender the Imo State to some strange element for them to devour, dissect and destroy the way they like. So I'm calling on them that these things are happening. People are losing their lives every day. This is not a joke. It's beyond politics. These people who are there running around in Imo State because they don't have any other job they will do in their life will come and go. They will still be Imo. But you can't replace lives that are being lost every day. I've said this time without number. So please, whosoever that is holding Nonsonkwa should please release him. And if you feel he has committed an offense, take him to court. This nonsense has to stop. Is it until they kill everybody? For me, I know what all the nonsense they are applying. It doesn't bother me. But one thing I must assure our people is that I'll continue to be the messenger of the people and continue to stand up in the face of this tyranny that have beclouded and overshadowed the once vibrant Imo State. Please release Nonsonkwa immediately.